Welcome to Thankful Thursday. Let me go over to YouTube and Facebook and we'll get on a roll here. Okay, we have Instagram started. Now let me get on Facebook and share it to my group. Thank you guys for bearing with me while I do all the stuff that has to be done to broadcast now. Let's see, share this, say group. Okay. Then let me bring up my notes. We're about 5 minutes late. It's like 6 million connections you have to get. Sometimes you log in and the streaming software is like, you have to reconnect to your account. And that's what happened this morning. Let's see. Let me open up this and I'm going to open up my teaching dates so I don't tell you guys the wrong thing because I never remember. Okay, welcome to Thankful Thursday. Let me get back in the streaming software and also clean my glasses here so I can actually see you guys. It's been a while. I had a crazy travel schedule in early fall. Oh, look at my hair. It looks like it's crazy. That's because I got back from the gym and I haven't yet taken a shower, so it's just crazy here. But I'm actually not traveling, which I'm so excited about for the next week and a half. And that's why we haven't had as many Thankful Thursdays because I've been on the road to Quilt Market and Quilt Festival and Mills and Alaska and Iowa and like all different places. So now I'm home for 2 weeks before I go to flash sewing in Florida, which I'll talk about later. And so yeah, that's so it's good to see you guys here. I see Carol is tuning in from Tennessee and Roseanne and Liz. Hello, you guys. So I thought of when I was teaching, I thought of this spiral design I haven't tried before. So there's nothing like trying it on a live stream, right? But I have very limited time. I have a lot to do. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try a spiraling design on a live stream. I was watching someone stitch and I was like, oh, that would be interesting if I did this and this and this. And so we'll see how it goes. So we'll be doing ruler work, free motion. It may take me 2 sessions to get through what I'm going to do here because I think I will fill things with free motion. Oh, good. You ordered the Q20 yesterday. Thank you for your help. Yes, you guys, if you are in the market for a Bernina of any sort, a serger, a long arm, a regular domestic machine, I can give you rebates, rebate forms that entitled you to $100 check. This is U.S. only because it's paid for by Bernina of America, right? You guys know that, but the key is you have to write to me using my contact form or my email, which you'll have if you download any free patterns. You have to write to me before you buy. So Bernina's having this huge promotion this Saturday. I think it's called Super Saturday is what they call it. And there's a bunch of financing options and special offers. If you plan to buy this Saturday and you want a rebate, you can't write me after. You have to write me before, okay? You have to write me before, and then I can give you the rebate form. I can give you, but you can't write me after because I can't predate it or I'll lose the ability to give these out. So you have to write me before. And the idea is that I'm influencing your purchase. I do not get paid for them, but I'm sure Bernina sees how many I turn in. So they give, they think about that when it comes to marketing, etc. Same thing for LauraStars. LauraStars $50 rebate. LauraStars that are $7.99 and above. Now, I don't know if I told you guys, I think I told this story before in Thankful Thursday, but a bunch of you might be new. The Izzy steamer that LauraStar makes, it's not the full ironing system. It's literally like a steamer on a cart. I got one for myself because basically I steam off my luggage or my shoes. It kills germs, right, etc. I got one I had this idea to get it for my kids for Christmas because our daughter's a neat freak and she would love anything that cleans. So we debated and debated, should we get one for our son? Because, He's a 25-year-old guy, so would he like it? I don't know, but I thought he might be jealous of his sister if she got one and he didn't. And thank goodness that we got it for him because it's like his favorite Christmas present ever. Apparently you can steam your boxing wraps and you can steam all this other stuff. Anyway, with the card, that Izzy's system would be over $17.99, and so it would be eligible for a rebate. Okay. I have behind me my newest collection, which is called Moonlight Serenade. It shipped, the initial shipment shipped to dealers this past month, like in October. The thing is, it sold out before it even shipped. So there's more coming. I just want you guys to know there's more coming next month. Okay, so if your dealer ordered and they were the first to order, they probably have it. If they didn't order till later, it is coming next month. I am not kidding anything. I am leaving that all to the dealers. And the reason why is because I don't have time to cut all the fabric. And two, I always guess wrong what you guys buy. And I end up running out of some things and with extra kits of other things. And I have to find time from somewhere. And kitting is where I can find time. But there are, I'm sure, a lot of dealers who are either kitting it now or kitting it when more comes in a month from now, right? So love meeting you too in Anaheim. Yep, we were in Anaheim for a mega event at Mel Sewing. Let's talk about, let's look at my notes and figure out what I had to talk about. I talked about Super Saturday with the financing offers and the special offers from Bernina. Okay, I have Starlight in my notes, and then I have my teaching dates. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go back here. Okay. Foggy and cold out in North Dakota. I'm sure it is foggy and cold out in North Dakota. It is warm here, in North Carolina, but not foggy today. So what I was gonna say, the Starlight quilt. I'm getting so many questions from dealers and for consumers about the Starlight quilt. Okay. Now, if you haven't heard of this quilt before, it's because it is something I wrote for Bernina for their new 7 series pro, their new 7 Pro machines. Okay. And it is exclusively bundled with those machines. Like in the bundle, you have a kit, you have the pattern if you buy a 7 series Pro machine. That, as I'm speaking this, Bernina paid for the right to bundle that pattern in with all of the machines. It is not available as a separate pattern. Now, if there's demand for it, I can put it out as a separate pattern next year. There has to be a year-long delay from when the time it ships with the machines. So I could put it out as a pattern in the fall of next year, and I will probably do that. But I can't sell it, and Bernina's not going to sell it, as far as I know, until then, right? Because they paid for a certain number of patterns. So the pattern is not available as independently. It was something I did for the 7 Series Pro machines. Okay. So that doesn't mean it will never be available, but it's not available this next year. Oh, good. Okay. So does that answer? I hope that makes it clear. I thought I just came back from market and I thought I'd show you what's coming up later in the year. So this is not available now, what I'm showing right now. So the fabric that is available now, and that there'll be much more of in another month, is the Moonlight Serenade, which is the quilt behind me without the green. I use my cotton shot greens in that quilt, but it's a blue and white collection. The fabric that's coming next February is Twilight Serenade, which is basically, oh, it's been in my luggage. The colored version. It still has blue as a base, right? Oh, it still has blue as a base, but it has these colors in it. These are the quilts for it. This collection is available in February of next year. So quilt shops out there who don't want to be in the situation you might be in with Moonlight Serenade, where it's sold out before you got it. You want to order now, right? You want to order now. So that is a pre-order for quilt shops now, not you guys. You guys, the customers, you'll see this in February of next year. There will be a couple mega events before then, yet you might see it at a little bit early just because they're my mega events, so they get special things. But in general, February of next year for the colors. Right now for the blue and white. And they do work together. Okay? Okay. Let's see. Next, teaching dates. I'm sorry, but I need to look at my notes for this because I can't even remember. So the week after next, I'll be at Flash Sewing. It's the only time I'll be in Florida for the next year. And it is going to be a really great event. The hotel's like a spa resort. And it's the Hyatt Hotel and Spa in Antero, Florida. And they still have a few spots. The reason why I bring this up is it would be a really good one if you wanted to do a girls' weekend or something because the hotel is so nice, you guys. So that's where I will be the week after next. Now I only have, and as I said, they still have some spots. I think they're limited, but it's going to be like such a nice hotel and such a nice time of year to go to Florida. So that is, oh, look, I didn't gray out the things that I've already done. That is October 27th through 29th. So the very end of the month, the week after next. Okay. Then I have one at Decorative Stitch, which is in Michigan. And it is November 13th through 15th. Okay. November 13th through 15th. That is it for this year, which is good because I have all the fabrics have to be developed for next year. The rulers have to be developed for next year. All of that has to be done in November and December. So I deliberately kept it light. My art director is going to be out of town at the end of December. I need to try to get her things as soon as possible. So I didn't take a lot of events at the end of the year. We're kind of wrapping it up. I'm very excited to see you guys in Michigan and Florida. However, I am very relieved that I'm not traveling later after that. Let's see. So after that, the events that have been announced, and I need to update this on my Facebook page, are Stitch House in Plano, Texas, January 22nd through 24th. Then I will be at Going Batty. I think that's in Reno, Nevada. I better look that up. Let me look this up really quick. Sometimes I get confused, but I'm pretty sure. Going Batty. I'm pretty sure it's in Reno, Nevada. Contact us. Where are you? Yes, Reno, Nevada. So I will be going to Going Batty in February, which good time to go, right? To Reno, Nevada, February 13th through 15th. Okay. Then let's see. I'm looking at other things that I have to do that have nothing to do with mega events. March 17th through 19th is Chestnut Ridge in Ohio. Okay. And April 9th through 11th is Atlanta Sewing Center. I don't know that that's been announced. April 15th through 17th is Hoover's Bernina in Mifflinburg, Pennsylvania. Okay. And that pretty much takes us up through April. I do have one May event, other than being at H&H. I will be at H&H this year. So those are the events. I need to update my event page, but my to-do list is like 5 miles long. So that's why I'm telling you guys first here. I always try to tell you first. Okay. Let's see. So I'm gonna, these are going. That's good. Okay, so let me go back to my notes. I'm sorry, so scattered. I want to make sure I say things. Okay, I just have new patterns and okay, so almost to the tutorial. Okay, the new patterns, and I apologize because I should have brought these up um, before. Let's hope I don't bat over everything. Let's see. I'm gonna bring these up to you guys so you see it. And I hope I have them all here. There may be one or two that are in boxes in the garage that I just have already shipped out a bunch of these. So I'm gonna, you see Blueberry Hill behind me. Okay, and are we back to basics? Okay, and I think I don't have my ruler work bags. Let's see, I do have that. Okay, Blueberry Hill, etc. New patterns, mini twirl, right? This is a wall hanging of my twirl pattern. This is it in the colors that are coming next year. Back to basics. The colors are on the front for this one. This is a great beginner pattern because you have like just the 5 most basic quilting blocks and they're big. They're 12 by 6. I should show this. I should hang this. Well, I already rolled it. That's why it didn't get hung today. This is the Serenade Ruler Guide, and it works for the blue and white or the colored version that's coming out later in the year. And it shows you how to do like patterns with ovals. And this is Edelweiss, the blue and white version and the colored version. Okay. Yes, Roseanne, I'll be at H&H Chicago. Okay. So the only other one I think I don't have down here, I don't want to knock this over. The ruler panel pouches, this is where you take any of my ruler panels and you quilt it on any soft and stable and make a pouch. Now, I will say, don't start like quilting the ruler panel before you have this pattern because what I did is I cut off the the borders of the panel, like the sides and the top, and used it for binding, okay, the zippers. And so if you start and you quilt the whole panel on anti-soft and staple and you haven't cut off the strips to use for binding the zippers of the inside, you buy just a piece of contrasting fabric um, and use that to bind it. If you went ahead and started the whole panel on any soft and stable before getting the directions. But the way I did it, do you see how it's self-bound inside? Like the seams are bound, right? So that was bound with those strips that I cut off before quilting the panel. But as I said, if you already got started, what you could do would be use other strips. But I liked how the ends of the panel, like the edges of the panel meet on the zippered the zipper pulls. I liked how that looked. So that's it. Okay. I showed you guys the patterns. Now we're getting into the meat of this. And if you haven't been here before, welcome. If you're on my YouTube channel, would you please subscribe to it? It helps me with just get shown in the feed if you subscribe. And if you're on Facebook, you can join my group just because you'll tend to see the posts more. Like, and if you ask a question in the group, I try to get to it, but there's also other people. There's lots of dealers, Bernina dealers in that group who will try to get to it too. But by being in the group, as opposed to just the page, it's more likely to appear in your feed because Facebook sees that as a social relationship. So always playing with the algorithm. And also, if you'd like me on Instagram, that's great. Instagram's the hardest algorithm to grow. It just like I'd have to like stop doing everything I do creatively wise and just go for the Instagram algorithm because it likes what it likes, and it's really not worth it. I probably shouldn't say that when I'm doing a live stream, but it likes very particular things on that channel. I'm trying in my effort not to do kits, etc. I realize there's only so much time in life, and I'm trying to really concentrate on creative output, which is what I feel I'm best at, and teaching, and not on cutting fabric. Other than cutting fabric to piece, but you know what I mean? It's just, I have to find time somewhere. Okay, the Moonlight Serenade panel is out. There are three different panels in the collection. I don't think I have them loaded up here for you to see, and I don't have them downstairs either. There's the one that I made into a bag, right? This is the ruler panel. There are two other panels. You might have seen, your dealer might have shown them to you. They're OESD classes. They're being used for OESD classes to teach custom quilting. I do not have a launch date for that yet. I am waiting to hear for OESD. They are deep into the editing mode of those classes. It's all been filmed. It's just editing it. And those classes are how to do custom quilting and do placement on your 7 series, your 9 series, and your Cumatic. Okay. The panels we use for that are like big medallions. They're like, right? They're big medallions. And so that is for those other panels, those big medallion panels. That's being used for a class with OESD. Cindy, you are saying, is this a pattern? This is a pattern. The ruler panel pouches is a pattern. I hope that's what you're asking. The OESD class is not a pattern. I'm going to see if I have it in here, but I may not. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. But the point of this pattern is you could use it on any of my ruler panels. Like, it doesn't just work with the Serenade panels. You still need the panel guide to quilt the panels, but do you see how it tells you how to cut it? And then it tells you kind of like how to draw the lines and box it. It could be used for any of my panels. And while we're on the subject, if you guys do this with some of my other panels, would you please send me pictures? That would be lovely, because I would love to see all my panels made as bags, but obviously I'm not going to do it. Okay? Yeah. And there is a bundle with the 4 quilt things. This is this and the ruler guide. And interweave. I forgot to show you interweave. I kept separately from the bundle because the ruler work, you'll have some people who just want the patterns and don't want to do ruler work. I don't understand those people. Ruler work's great. But I kept it separate. And the other pattern I kept separate is called interweave. And, I just spilled them all on the floor. It's a serger pattern. Okay. It's really pretty in the colors too. It's a serger pattern, and this is separate. It's not in the bundle because some people have sergers and some people don't. And if you've never put on quilt batting with a serger, you should. And I have a YouTube video about it. And it's better than doing it with a sewing machine because those long feed dogs just handle that thick fabric so well. Okay. I thought about doing this spiral design, and I'm going to put this to the side. I may do this next time. This is my mini lollipop panel, and I had one that I screwed up and cut wrong, and I brought down the lollipop for it. It's been sitting here for weeks, but I haven't been home. But I have this idea in my mind that I want to try with spiral designs. So I don't know if I'm going to put, depending on how it works, I don't know if I'm going to put the lollipops in here or circle back and do the lollipops at a later date. The lollipops, the big size lollipops, not the minis, but the big size are going to be discontinued. They're good all over patterns, but Brewer wants to keep down to like 20 sets of rulers. So to make room for new ones in the future, we're going to discontinue some ones that have been out there for a while. And the bigger lollipops are part of that set. So you heard it here first. Yes, Rose, that pattern is pretty easy, especially if you're a piecer. That pattern interweave is pretty easy. I also have a wonky, but the one thing I should say, it requires a chain and a cover for that pattern. So you have to have a combo machine. The other pattern that I think is really easy for sergers, I don't know if I have it down here. Let me see. Ugh, it's out in the garage. Um, is the wonky if you search on my website for wonky log cabin, that is super easy and fun to do with the serger because as you make these wonky log cabin blocks, you use your overlocker and you trim off the edge. Now, the borders on the wonky log cabin have chain and cover stitches. I'd show it to you, but actually I think Pam has those quilts right now. Um, Chained and cover stitches on the borders. And if you didn't want to do that, like say you didn't have a combo machine that can do chain and cover and overlock stitches, you could just use a feature print, like something that's pretty busy like that one. If you do it, send me a picture because you know I like a picture. Okay. I know. I love ruler work too, Cindy. I don't know what's wrong with these people who don't like ruler work. I think they're holding their rulers wrong. Actually, I know what's wrong. They're not holding their rulers right, and they're getting frustrated, trying it for 10 seconds and giving up. I guarantee that's some people watching now. They're like, I'm not good at this, and then they give up. I hate to break out a new pair of quilting gloves right now. I'm going to because all my pairs are dirty because I've been gone for so long. But you know how they keep marks on them, and I like to keep like a few clean ones or unstained ones available. Well, that's not going to happen. Okay, so here's my idea. What if I had a sort of medallion design, like in a circle, okay? And I had spokes radiating, like drawn spokes radiating from the center out. So it was all divided into even subsections. So I'm using my 45-degree marking tool today. Um, and I have a 3060 too. There's no reason it couldn't work with the 3060, but there's these spokes rotating out. And I wanted to I did a circle in the center, and then I wanted to do kind of a whirlwind effect where there's arcs that are kind of tilted as they go around. So it looks like there's this huge motion. And then what if every other arc I did free motion or something? I don't know. We'll see how this works out because I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. Um, oh, you love the blueberry quilt? Thank you. I love the blueberry quilt too. It's very classic. I don't always do classic. Sometimes I go more modern, but this is very classic. So like what if I had this rotating design? I want to see how it works. And the way I'll connect these things with semicircles is the inner point on one spoke will be connected to the outer point on the spoke next to it, which will give it this whole tilt. I have no idea how this is going to work, but we're going to try it. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to see if I can get up enough with this camera. And I have not manicured my hands in a long time because I've been traveling. So you guys are just going to ignore the bad nail situation, right? Okay. Let's do this. Okay. So I have my marking tool. I'm roughly in the center of this fat quarter sandwich. I should have it right side up because it would be easier to see. And I'm going to do, oh, this is a dry pen. I didn't even check it before I came down. Now you see me going back and forth, right? In these slots. I would not do that in real life. I'd mark as lightly as possible. The fact is I'm doing it so you can see, right? But it's a chemical. So I would be marking as lightly as I could possibly mark if it was on an actual quilt. Okay, so that's those ones. And then we're going to rotate it. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So I get right in the center there. So not as dark as I'm doing it, okay? This is needlessly dark. Also, this pen's really dry. So I'm not sure. Okay, so that's the 45 degree, but I actually want another subdivision. I want it to be 22.5 degrees. So this time when I do it, the dashed lines go over the previously drawn lines, right? And then I go through again. So I will have spokes everywhere. Okay. And let's do this side. So this goes like this. Align my center point. Today I have to finish up all this paperwork. I have to send quilts to Flash. But then I get if I make myself finish paperwork, which I really hate doing, I get to piece today. I'm piecing a quilt called Garden Party, which I did several years ago, but it's just perfect for that Twilight collection. And it has tons of different blocks, and I can't wait to start it. So I'm sort of holding it out and making myself do all the boring stuff so I can get this done. I'm going to connect the centers of this just because it will help me, at least the 90 degree, because it's going to help me with my ruler placement later on. I have, again, I have not tried this on camera. I really have no idea how this is going to work out. So, we'll see. So this can go over here. You guys have to remind me next time. I have to work in lollipops somehow. But right now I'm going to do this. So I'm bringing over, let me turn off this camera. Oh, you did garden party a party for your niece, Carrie? Yeah, I loved that quilt. That quilt is so fun to make. But I'm going to reprint it with the new fabrics. So you guys don't you don't need to buy the existing version. You can wait for the reprint if you're going to do it, and so it matches the fabric you're going to do if you plan to do it this spring. Okay. I'm in my ruler bag. This is a smaller ruler bag. And I keep all my semicircles in this bag with straight lines, and I usually keep a set of circles in here too, but I have a feeling they're not in here right now. And the reason why they're not in here right now is because I did an event. And so I think everything's moved everywhere, when you have one of those days. In fact, I can see that I don't even have all the sizes of semicircles right here. I think I'm going to use one from set 2, but let me also take out one from set 1. Where did I put? Huh. I'm missing one, but I don't know where I put it. It's possible I put it in the wrong thing. The wrong pocket, or I put it in a bin that actually lives behind me. I don't know. Okay. I have not been home in like forever. So have I mentioned that? Yes. I'm just going to oil my machine really quickly because I haven't been home. So you guys, even if you oil regularly, if it's been sitting there for weeks, it's going to dry out, right? And so I'm going to put a drop of oil right on the finger just to get started. So it's nice and happy because, Charlotte, North Carolina is a pretty humid climate, but still our machines dry out. It's just metal on metal. Okay, so now it should be happy. Now, the first thing, the reason why I'm doing a circle in the middle, yes, thank you guys. I was using, what Roseanne says, I have a 30-60 degree marking tool and I have a 45 degree marking tool. Both are on my website if you search for marking tools. I use the 45 one. There's no reason you couldn't use the 30-60, right? I made both for a reason. Okay, so the reason why I'm going to do a circle in the center is because I don't want all the lines converging. It'll just be too many lines converging if I don't. just too many. And so I'm thinking, I'm just looking at, let's see, just looking at what's going on here. I only have a fat quarter to work with, so I have to decide what size circle. That could be a good inner circle, maybe even smaller. That's a good outer circle. I have a feeling the one I really want to use, I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this. And then what I'm going to be doing is creating a spiral design on the outside of this. So we'll get back to that. I'm just going to put that to the side. Now, you guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that this is a major no-no, right? You never, ever, ever set your ruler into position with the foot up and hope for the best when you bring it down. That is a no, 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 okay? The reason why is you could easily crash on your ruler. So I am going to, if I don't know where to start, right? I just don't know where's going to be a good place. I put my ruler into position. Then I bring my foot down nowhere near the ruler. Then I bring the foot over to the ruler. And then I move the ruler because I have to bring the bobbin thread up. Okay? So, and I shouldn't have been lazy. I was very lazy here. I'm going to put this under here. So it comes out under the foot, okay? And then I'm going to bring the foot down again. And then I bring the ruler back into position, okay? So anytime I was potentially bringing the foot up, that ruler was out of the way. And now I'm not going to do tiny stitches here. I'm going to go over my stitches when I come around the circle again, okay? That sounded bad. We'll see how it goes, but no, that's wrong. Okay. Something's hung up in the bobbin area. You should always test though when you do a live stream. Yet I didn't, because that's what my life is like right now. Okay, I'm going to pull this out. And I'm going to see what's going on. The top looks okay. Even though I'm just checking the top. Okay. Oh, I see that. Okay, that's good. And now let me just see. Could have been, my top was, I should be good now. Okay, we should be okay. Let's see. Okay, so let's do that again. You guys can see. Okay, foot down, ruler in position, right? Move it over, move the ruler out of the way. One stitch to bring the bobbin thread up. Okay, and bring the foot down. Bring the ruler back. So that foot's down when the ruler comes back. Oh, that sounds way better. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and clip this thread. Okay. Then I rotate the ruler around. And as I said, I'm not going to finish this design today. I think this is a ruler from Semicircle Set 2. It's the 4-inch, 8-inch. But anyway, on my website, I would say it says the sizes underneath each ruler, but these are my semicircle rulers. What's nice with the semicircles, you can always get out of the inside of the circle without ending your thread. Now, I went to the next spoke because I was securing the previous stitches. So I was doing that all in one. So, oh, you know what? I'm thinking I need another mark. I need another mark. Where did I put my marking tool? Okay, what I want to do is, my idea was, what if I had an arc that went like from the inside of one of the spokes to the outside of another spoke, okay? So I'm going to do, what I need to know what point out here to go out to, okay? I'm going to try to cheat and do this without stopping quilting. And do you see how there's slots on some of these lines? That's how I got my 45-degree line. But on the other lines, there's dots away from the center, right? So I'm going to use those lines to my advantage. I'm going to um, basically do the dots away from the center. So here, I'm going to do the one that's a 22.5, okay? Right near the numbers. And this is 6 inches away from the center. So I just made that mark 6 inches away from center. So I'm basically going to do that on all of them. I'm just using the dots. So that's 6, right? I should have done this marking before, but I'm not that smart. 6, 6, 6, 6. Okay. So now I'm just going to make these darker for you guys. 6, 6. So like everything is darker, and I really need one. We'll do one right here. I'm just using. Okay. The other ones I'll mark when I get the foot over here because I'm lazy and trying to avoid ending my thread. Oh, I forgot the other ones on this side though. So now I'm going to do the dots. So I see how the dots go 6 inches from center. 6, 6, 6, 6. Okay, so this, I'm just making them darker for you. This. Okay, so I have all the dots 6 inches for center for half the circle, and when I get over to that side, I will use that opportunity to make the other dot 6 inches per center. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go over like 2 lines, and it could be anything. You could go 1 line over, you could rotate it and go 1, 2, 3 lines over. That would give you a tighter whirlwind. Not sure I want it that tight. I'm going to go over here, okay? And that line, that intersection, is a 1/4 inch away. Now, you guys know on a domestic, don't go that fast. And then I need a way to travel to the next one. I think I might like more of a curve there. So if I use that, let's see. What if I use something like this to get, oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, that was a jump stitch, you guys. Don't do that. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to go back in. We'll see how this works out. I'm going to have to split this into 2 lives because there's no way I'm going to finish like all the stuff I'm doing today. So now, okay. So now I use the outside of this, right? Outside of this one. Well, this is not unfortunate. Okay, I'm going to let you guys see from farther away. And then the inside of this one, I think is what I did. And in this case, I'm not really using the lines. I'm looking at that 1/4 inch, that mark is a 1/4 inch away from the edge of my ruler. And now I'm going to go in, but I need to do in that way, right? I use the inside over here. And the outside. Now I'm using this to travel. Now I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get these arcs too. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. Maybe what I should do, well, now that I'm thinking about it, is like do one out and in. We'll see how this goes. Like if I did it right now and then went in, I'll be missing those, but maybe that will be my travel path. Yeah, I always kind of am experimenting with it just to see what. Yeah, see, I basically caught the two outer ones there. I'll have to go in and do that with these, but I think that works pretty well. Okay. Let's see. All right, in. Okay, so now out. And now remember how before I went in this past time I went and did the next outer curve. I'm going to do that again because that way it's all caught. This is going to look so cool when it's done. I think though eventually I'll do a tinier inner circle and then fill this with free motion because that'll make that puffy in the center. We'll see. Got to save something for the next time we have a Thankful Thursday, which I might do on the 5th Thursday of the month. We have a 5th Thursday, and I'm coming back from Flash, I think, the night before. So I might end up doing one Thursday morning as long as everything. Oh, gosh, you know what I didn't do? I never made the 6-inch marks from center. I got distracted and kept making a design, and I totally didn't do the 6-inch marks from center. So let me do that really quick because I need those marks. I need to know where they are, those points are, or it's not going to turn out right. Okay, so 6 inches is here. 6 inches is here. 6 inches is here. Okay, and then the ones I'm missing. Sorry, guys. This is what happens when I try to do things on the fly. And what got me thinking about this is I was watching a student do a rotation with a curve, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. And also, with semicircles, you have so many curves. I mean, my every curve set is great because it goes from 8 to 12 inches, but semicircles, the three sets to give you together gives you a lot of different ranges. Now, my semicircle one is currently sold out, but it's being reprinted. Um, I might have like maybe two or three in my possession, but I have more on order. Okay. Oh wait, you know what I was supposed to do while I was there? That that little outer. I needed to catch it then. Okay. And you guys wouldn't be using like highly contrasting threads, so you wouldn't have the things showing that I have showing. Okay. So I'm getting that like rounded look. Okay. You know what would be cool? Like having a diamond point on each of them. We'll see. Okay, back to here. I'm more than halfway around. Okay. Okay. If you guys would, I know you're all watching. Any questions, any burning questions you have, please go ahead and ask them in the comments so that when I wind up today, I get your questions answered. Okay, while I'm doing this. And I will look up and look at the comments shortly. You guys never go this fast if you're on a domestic machine without a regulator, right? I'm going pretty fast here, which is why I usually do my demos on a sit-down cue because you can go fast. Is that really 6 inches out? I guess it is. Let's make these darker. That was that one, that one, that one. Ooh, look. Okay. I just had a thought about how I want the outside to look. And I'm just not sure what the answer is. 'Cause I kind of like that, but at the same time, I don't. Okay. What I'm thinking about as a possibility is I could use a curve around these outsides areas, like an inner curve, inner curve, inner curve. And then that would look like a row of petals around the outside of the quilt, right? If I went like that. Another thing I could do if I didn't want to do that would be use my semicircles, like a bigger size of semicircle, to echo around these outside things. And I'm not sure which I'm going to do. Okay. Wait, what was I using here? This inside, right? Okay. And then I'm going to leave this because I need to get back to there. Wait, no, I need to do it now, huh? Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. If I want to do a row of petals around the outside, instead of having it be these long extended rows, I I need to find a curve that will work. And this curve is going to it's going to intersect this line. It's going to go over the line, which will look messy. So maybe if I want to go around like this, I'm going to use the outside of the curve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around all the way around the circle, doing this and catching the two outer curves that I didn't do. And then I'll return back to here and come in. And hopefully I'll remember what I just said I'm going to do. So now the outside, this would be optional, right? But I should do it all the way around if I want to do it. Now, when I finish this part, I'm going to come, remember, I still have to go in and get that, the two that I missed before I started backtracking each one. I have to go get it. And this, you can play with rotational designs. There's so much you can do. This is the one other I missed. So I'm going to go and do that backtracking. You can totally play with this. And what this is teaching you is, if you're on a sit-down machine especially, is to keep your hands down and relaxed on the fabric because the outer part of your hand is moving the fabric. But it doesn't have to be a design just like mine. You can make your own design. And as long as it's rotationally symmetrical, it's going to look right. Just because your eye wants to follow the pattern. Oh, I got a little off. We're not going to worry about that because from a distance, no one will see. Do you see that? No one's going to notice that from a distance. Okay. Wouldn't it be neat to do a whole cloth quilt with like a different one of the variation on something like this on each, with a marking tool and then with some type of ruler. I have an idea for a fill that's going to be really fun next time for these guys. So that's what we'll do next time. I'll fill these. Again, put questions in the box. And I will get, okay, so now I'm going to do that final spiral in. Oh, that's my trash. I need to bring a trash bag down here. I got all the people who ordered while I was away. I got your orders out. Okay. Now I'm going to change to, oh, that whole time I was in BSR1, I should have been in BSR2, you guys. Oh well, now I'm going to change it to very tiny stitches, which I'll do before I raise my raise and clip my bobbin thread. Okay, so this is what it looks like today. But next time we're going to do more fills on this. And that's what I'll be showing. And as I said, I think next time's going to be the 5th Thursday of the month. I think I'll do it both the 5th and the 1st Thursday of the month because I'm home for both of those. Because I'm home, if I haven't mentioned it. So now let me look at your questions. Let's see. Turn off this camera. Okay, what I said about the lollipop templates. Okay, what I said about the lollipop templates, this was a panel, and it would work with the bags for my mini lollipop templates. And my mini lollipop templates are 1 inch wide, okay? I do have 2 sets, and the mini lollipops are 5 shapes. I did make a double size of lollipop that's 2 inches wide, and they're good for overall fills like you see on the ruler, and because they work up really fast. But and I split them into 2 sets of 3 because they were going to be too expensive as one set because obviously the plastic's bigger. Those are some of the rulers on the chopping block to be discontinued. So I still have some of those, but they will eventually go away. Yeah, I think that's it. Is that all your questions? Okay. All your quilting questions, that is? Okay. So probably the next one, unless I get held up or there's a plane delay or something, the next Thankful Thursday will be the 5th Thursday this month, which is the 30th. For you guys in the Florida area, hopefully I'll see you at Flash because we're going to have fun. And yeah, I'll see you next time. If you're in the market for a machine, remember, Bernina has their Super Saturday, but you got to ask for a rebate before. And I know there was something else I was going to tell you guys, but I can't remember it at this moment. So I am off to do my paperwork and then to peace. And I hope you guys have a lovely day. Thank you for joining me on Thankful Thursday.